Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. Sarita Amir from Department of Pediatrics, Independent University Hospital. Today's topic of discussion is malaria. In this topic, we will discuss definition, incubation period, investigations of choice, pathophysiology, symptomatology for patients with malaria, and its treatment and preventions. Malaria is a mosquito-borne disease, and it is a disease which is caused by a female Anopheles mosquito. Symptoms may appear within a week or month or even the years after the bite of that mosquito. There are four species of malaria, that is Plasmodium falciparum, Plasmodium vivax, Covale, and malaria. Malaria is found in about 100 countries in the world, and it is more common in our setups where temperature and humidity is high, and there is 20 to 30 degree Fahrenheit and about a humidity of 60%, in which there is a maximum growth of mosquitoes appear. Incubation period in patients having infection with Plasmodium falciparum is 9 to 14 days. In cases of vivax, it is 8 to 17 days. In cases of Covale, it is 16 to 18 days, and Plasmodium malariae, it's 18 to 40 days. Regarding the pathophysiology, there is a bite from an infected mosquito, which is act as a vector, and then parasites starts reproducing in the liver, and in vivax and ovale form it is remain dominant in the liver and then entered into the blood stream, where it infect the red blood cells, and when these red blood cells breakdown occur, it leads to shivering, and there is a repetition of this cycle of infection of red blood cells, and its destruction leads to fever and chills. Again, the diagram shows the Anopheles mosquito. Investigation that is required in cases with malaria. Basically, this is clinical diagnosis, importance of history, physical examination is required. There is a malarial parasite test, peripheral smear, both the thick and thin films are required. There is a role of bone marrow smear, CBC, TLC count, and differential leukocyte counts. In the differential diagnosis of malaria comes the febrile illnesses, that is due to pharyngitis, tonsillitis, pneumonia, measles, influenza, dengue, and typhoid fever. The other illnesses that can mimic with this picture of malaria is measles, meningitis, tonsillitis, otitis media, influenza, pneumonia, hypoglycemia, and tuberculosis. Usually the events that start with the bite of the mosquito is man is the intermediate host, mosquito is the definite host. Sporozoites are infective form present in the salivary glands of female Anopheles mosquito. After the bite of infected mosquito, sporozoites are introduced into the blood circulation. This is the same picture that shows the structure of malarial parasite. Signs and symptoms that usually appear in a human being is the severe headache, they have a fever, fatigue, and the pain, particularly pain in the back. There is chills and the sweating, there is dry cough, there is splenomegaly, and there is a nauseated feeling due to the involvement of the stomach. Again, diagram shows the symptomatology: high-grade fever with headache, restlessness, anorexia, diarrhea, arthralgia, vomiting, anemia, chills and dry gulls, hepatosplenomegaly, convulsions, and coma. Typically, paroxysms of malarial parasite comes in 3 stages: cold stage, hot stage, and sweating stage. Treatment that is required for malaria is chloroquine is the first line drug that is required in patients with malaria. In the day 1, 10 mg per kg, and it is then followed by a 5 mg per kg on the day 1. The first dose followed by 5 mg per kg on the second day. After 24 hours, 5 mg per kg per day, and on the third day repeat the dose with a 5 mg per kg per day. This is a dose of chloroquine which comes in a form of syrup with 150 mg base per tablet or 25 mg per kg divided for 3 days. The second drug which can be used is a primaquine, but in patients with G6PD deficiency there is a contraindication for the use of these antimalarials. Management of malaria includes early detection and complete treatment, control of mosquitoes, and community awareness regarding the disease. Early detection is possible when we follow the protocol that is given by the WHO. That early administration of chloroquine is required in all the patients having pyrexia of unknown origin, collection of blood films, both thick and thin film, from the patients having fever, and administration of medical treatment to all the positive cases of malaria. This is a slide which shows the preparation of thick and thin film for malaria. Anti-adult measures, DDT spraying, anti-larval measures, protection against the mosquito bites, mosquito nets, and the repellent creams are required to prevent the spread of mosquito and mosquito bites. Diagram shows the use of nets. Or we will control removing or poisoning the breeding grounds of the mosquito or the adequate habitats of the larval stages. Spray of the DDT, early management and disease surveillance, monitoring and evaluation, drug and insecticide resistance monitoring. Next slide. Again, the diagram which shows the preventions required to prevent the spread of malaria. National Malarial Education Program. Every country has their own program, but mostly in our setup we administer anti-malarial drugs like chloroquine, pyrimethamine, and sulfadoxine with good success. Thank you.